The Pokemon series. Who doesn't love it? These games combine RPG mechanics along with an addictive kind of quality of gotta catch 'em all. There were 150 monsters out there for us to go out, find, and capture, and then we got to learn how they fought and how they worked with one another. It was so cool! On top of that, these games came out in 1996 in Japan, meaning that they're only 1 year younger than I am. So if you're a kid growing up around the time I was, these things were impossible to avoid. These things had their own games, they had their own TV show, they were on toys, they were on food. Pokemania was everywhere and I loved it. But not only did I have a lot of fun playing these games when I was little, these games actually helped me out with a very important aspect of my life. Pokemon taught me how to read. But let's go back in time really quick. The year is 1999. I have just moved into Twinsburg, Ohio, and I'm sitting in my little house having my birthday celebration, and my mom hands me a box. It's all wrapped up. Great present, and I tear into it. There's a Game Boy inside, and alongside it, Pokemon Blue version. That Pokemon Blue game was the first video game I ever got, and well, it kinda led to more as the years went on. But here's the thing, this game required reading. There was no voiceovers, there was no audio, it was all text. There was little 8-bit chip music, and then there was text. And I wasn't the most proficient reader back at that time in my life. The game starts off and you gotta pick one of 3 Pokemon, and I thought, okay, which do I pick? What are these things? What's a Bulbasaur? I remember going up to my parents a lot when I was little and just asking them to sound these words out for me. What was this? What did you call it? A Croconaw? What's a Croconaw? How did you know that's what it's called? I was just a little kid and I was encountering words that were really just made up. Just because I didn't understand what most of the words meant doesn't mean I didn't keep trying. I mean, this game was fun, so I kept going. And when you're thrust into a situation where even your parents aren't sure how to pronounce things, you have to learn on your own. So what did I do? I started learning how to sound these things out for myself. I knew what sound the letters made on their own. A for apple, B for banana, that kind of thing. But as I was playing and I was finding these words that my parents even didn't know, I was sort of piecing them together for myself. I was sounding them out. Okay, what's this thing? Well, he's gray and... Alright, his name is Ma. I know that's Ma and ch. CH makes a ch sound. Chop. Machop. He's a Machop! Oh, cool! Now I know! I didn't need Big Brain Academy back then. I didn't need some special, like, jumpstart first grade. All I needed was a game I was interested in and a bunch of complicated monster names. Next thing you know, I was sounding out words like a pro. So once I had the basics down and I could tell what the words were, I started finding out that there's actually a story to this game. It's not just going from gym to gym and fighting battles. The story was sparse. I mean, this was a kid's game and it was back on the Game Boy, which couldn't do much. The story's actually pretty cool. It's just about how there's this evil Team Rocket. They're like a bunch of mafia members. They are led by this guy named Giovanni, and all they really want to do is rough some people up, scam them at gambling, and get money for themselves. Which at the time, that's all I needed. I was just a little kid. These are the bad guys. Go beat them up. Cool. I'm the hero. Then later generations of the game started coming out, and they started introducing more and more complex stories. This game wasn't just about fighting monsters, it also taught you a few really interesting concepts. For instance, Pokemon games focus around this concept of evolution. You throw your Pokemon out into a fight, when the fight's over, he gets experience points. If he gets enough experience points, his body will actually change and he'll evolve into a stronger version of that Pokemon. So I, as a 5-year-old kid, was learning basic concepts of evolution. I know Darwin would be rolling in his grave if he thought that, like, we all believe that alligators evolved into dragons. That's not how it works, but there were a few evolutionary lines in the games that made sense. For instance, bug types. Early on in the games, you would find these little caterpillar-looking things, and they'd turn into cocoons, and then they would turn into butterflies. So I was learning to read, and I was learning about life cycles. They started introducing even more complex ideas for kids in the later generations. When these games came out, the bad guys didn't want to just make money, they wanted to terraform. These guys were trying to create more land or drown the land in the ocean, inadvertently teaching us kids about the water cycle and about how land masses are formed. So not only did I learn how to read, I started learning about interesting and complex ideas such as geology and evolution. Pokemon taught me a lot more than just how to push a few buttons and level up my guys. It taught me about the concepts of growth over time in species. It taught me about the concepts of growth over time in the land. It taught me how to sound out words on my own and read words that were essentially just made up. And it taught me to appreciate stories. If it wasn't for Pokemon stories starting me out, I probably wouldn't be as interested in other stories as I am today. So it was this love of discovery, the ability to read, and complex ideas that were instilled in me at a very young age all started because I took up that quest like so many other kids did back then. to catch 'em all. And you know what? Those games are still fun today. Now if you'll excuse me, I got some more catching to do. Bye.